Last Friday, I did a live Discord call in my large wholesaling real estate Discord, zachdiscord.com, with over 14,000 people. And we had hundreds and hundreds of people watch live my presentation of exactly why you are one decision away from changing your life in wholesaling real estate. Now, I don't usually ever share the recordings of this unless it's within the Discord community. By the way, it's a completely free Discord community, but I do that because I want everybody to be in there live and to participate. People ask questions that they don't want publicly out there. But what I did was I recorded the first section of that and showed you exactly how you're only one decision away from changing your life. So if you're ready to see it and excited to go see a hidden recording inside my Discord, let's break it down and let's get into it. You are one decision away from changing everything. We are coming up on 2025 and you have the ability to change literally everything about your life. And that decision is only one thing. That decision is deciding to go all in on wholesaling houses. This is a decision that is going to affect not just you, but your mom, your dad, your future family, right? This is all going to be predicated on one decision. And this is the decision to go all in on yourself. I think the vast majority of people in here watching me and listening, right? You're probably younger, right? Maybe you're under the age of 30, right? That's kind of the Discord crowd. This means you have an insane advantage watching this, that you do not have to worry about most probably kids or a wife. I mean, maybe you're married, right? But like the thing is, when you're young, you have this tolerance, you have this ability to fail and nothing happens. Like nothing negative happens. And this is powerful stuff. The thing about this that nobody ever talks about is, let's say you start wholesaling and you're 23 years old. Let's say it fails. Is anybody when you're older going to like attack you? Oh, he failed when he was 23. You're young. Like nobody cares. Like nobody cares. This is the thing. When you are young, nobody is going to care if you fail or not in wholesaling. And this is a really important thing. Nobody is going to care what you look like, what you sound like, if you failed or not. Like in the grand scheme of the entire world, nobody is going to care if you become successful or not. Nobody is going to care if you go out here and get rich or not wholesaling. Like it doesn't matter. But the thing that I could tell you that is going to matter is if you go all in and change your life. Because if you change your life, at the end of the day, no one's going to care either. And so this is a really important thing that I think everyone should watch is just, if you decide to go all in, the worst case scenario, oh, you're young, you failed. The best case scenario, you don't have to work a job anymore. Your mom is taken care of, you can retire her and you're good to go, right? I get people all the time that like say, oh, Zach, wholesaling's a scam. This doesn't work. Is your mom retired? That is my real question for it. Is your mom retired? And the funniest part about everybody that doubts wholesaling, their mom is not retired. So you should try to go all in on wholesaling. And the funniest thing about this is, what do you have to lose getting started wholesaling real estate, government lists, or drawing for whatever it is, right? The most you're set to lose is $100 or $0. This is the ultimate gamble, I could tell you, because I know people that like, oh, they buy these scratch offs, right? They buy all these like lottery tickets and all these crazy, and the funniest part about like buying these scratch offs and lottery tickets, it's like, yeah, it's only $1, but I could change my whole life with that $1. And you'll buy it once a week. You buy 2 tickets a week, that's $100 a year. If you put $100 in gas just to drive for dollars, you have almost a 100% chance of winning if you just stay consistent with it. It's not ever 100%. Wholesaling's never 100%. But I don't know one person that has drove for dollars 5 hours a week, every week for like 3 years straight and not gotten a deal. So I can almost say it's a 100% success rate getting started wholesaling real estate. Now, this is not an easy business, but it is a very simple business. If you get the leads, you get the deals. To close a seller is simple too. Are they looking to sell the property? No, then they're not motivated. If they are, Let's talk to them, see if they're looking to sell, and try to lowball them and get a deal, right? Like, it's not that complicated. And find a buyer, like there's so many ways to find cash buyers. So really, like, the barrier to entry in wholesaling real estate is zero. The risk, you can do it on $0. So the risk is nothing. I don't know if I have to convince you. Why do I have to convince you, yes or no, to get started in this business? It is a easy decision. It is a simple decision. Do it. Your life will be changed. Because if you just decide to go all in and you do this just one thing, your whole life has changed. I'll post on Instagram. You guys see me on TikTok, right? I get thousands and thousands of people that get started wholesaling real estate, right? And they just like, Zach, I see you. I want to get started. I want to get rich. I want to become successful. But like, what do I do? Work. At the end of the day, every rich person works. Every rich person goes out here and just puts in the work. You cannot be a lazy bum and not become successful. So my advice for everybody watching this is to go out here and do the work. Do the hard thing. Do the risky thing. And this is what wholesaling real estate is. Wholesaling real estate is all risk. Wholesaling real estate is never all guarantee action. But one thing I can tell you is my life has been completely altered and changed with my success in wholesaling. I've never not made 6 figures a month for the past 3 years. That's the thing about wholesaling real estate no one talks about is once you really hack the system, it's impossible not to win. It's impossible not to win. You're just going to win if you just go all in on yourself. And so what I'm begging everybody watching this to do is get in your car, look for an ugly house, pull a list, call a seller, post a digital banner sign. Whatever you can do to get eyeballs that you're looking to buy properties for cash, you can lock up the deal, write up that contract, sell it to a cash buyer, and you're good to go. This is why I love wholesaling real estate so much, because you can have unlimited upside. The only thing that is going to stop you is yourself. So really ask yourself this one question. What is stopping me from getting a deal in the next month? In 30 days, what is going to stop me from getting a deal? Really ask yourself that thing. And I'll just give the answer. The answer is the decisions you make and the ways you think. And so I want everyone watching this to make a decision to decide, am I going to go out here and just market to sellers? That's it. We get all this talk around the wholesaling industry of how do I get started? What can I do? And they all tell you go pay all this money and, go out here and get an insane cold calling team or this or that. And just the fundamentals. And I feel like this old basketball coach, right? Oh, the kids these days don't do the fundamentals. And it's kind of funny, but it's completely true. And I'm talking to the kids now, but fundamentals, just focus on pushing the needle forward of you getting a contract signed. And so every decision you make going forward should be is this going to produce me a deal or not produce me a deal? If you're thinking about what logo to make for your company, that ain't going to produce you a deal. Networking in the chat saying, hey, I'm in this market. Who wants to JV with me? That's a great way. And so a lot of people, how do I get started? What do I do, right? What I can tell everyone is just connect with other wholesalers getting started. And one of the most golden nuggets I can give anybody in here, right? There are hundreds and hundreds of people and thousands of people that are probably going to watch this inside the Discord, right? There is currently, as of this recording, 14,000 people in zachdiscord.com. I'm internally blessed. I thank you so much, right? It means the absolute world to me that you guys trust me for this. You are just one decision away of just reaching out to one person in that Discord. One out of 14,000. You just need one person out of 14,000 to say, you know what? Let's work together. I have a contract. I need help dispoing it. Maybe you go inside X Leads. Maybe you go on to Zillow. Maybe you do all these other things. And you can just go dispo and find a buyer there. It's that simple. You can make $20,000, $30,000. I had about $120,000 in assignment fees today from just JVs. And that's a lot of money. Okay, we had some massive pops. Rick was giving me some fun texts today, but we just closed 6 figures of assignment fees in only JVs, right? And we got other closings, other great stuff. But like this, the reason I'm making all that money is only because I made that one decision when I was 17 years old, really 16, that, you know, I'm sick and tired of being a bag boy. I'm sick and tired of just cleaning up poop and mopping and just bagging groceries and cleaning toilets. Like, my life is worth way more than this. And is my future going to be a grocery store manager? No. That ain't going to be it. And because I made one decision, my life changed. And the only reason I knew what wholesaling was because of Rick, right? My dad. And the thing is, he made a decision that he was sick of his job and he was going to get into real estate. And now I was so blessed with having him in my life, right, that I feel guilty. Like, I'm just being honest, like, I legit feel guilty that I knew about wholesaling from my dad. Like, if Rick was never in the picture, I would have no idea what wholesaling is. I'd probably never get into it. But the thing about this is, because I was just, call it the fate of the universe, call it whatever you want, but the events of Rick getting started in wholesaling and then me wanting to do it because of him, yeah, you can call it whatever you want, right? Call it nepotism. I could care less. But because he had the skills and I learned from him, I decided to transfer all that knowledge that I had, all the knowledge that he had, to you guys for free. And maybe I was put on this earth to learn from Rick so I could teach you guys, because I have some skills of how to disseminate that information to the masses for free, right? And Rick didn't have those social media or video skills or whatever it is to disseminate that, right? Frankly, he didn't have the time, right? He has he had me and my sister, right? He was married, and you got this 19-year-old who was making, I think I was making like 60 grand a month, right? At 19, numbers are a little hazy at 19 because that's kind of when I started with Rick. But like, I was making all this money at 19. And I was not married. I'm not married, right? No kids, right? Like, all this free time in the world. And I'm like, well, why don't I just share this on YouTube? And that's how I started on social media. I had all this free time. It was kind of basically a hobby of mine. And that decision was able to just give the information that I had in my head, the information I had on Rick's head, and give it out for free. Because I was doing the channel by myself. Then I had Rick come. I'm like, hey, you have all the knowledge. Why don't you just sit you down? I had my iPhone. I'm like, just talk about wholesaling. And that's kind of how we start on social media, right? But like, the funniest thing is, I could talk for hours and hours about high level wholesaling and the high level of getting into real estate, investing, and all these things. And really, like, if I could just simplify it, this is why people love me on Instagram sometimes and it's get all those views. It's just like, we could talk all high level about wholesaling assignments on it, but like, find an ugly house, write up a contract, then sell that contract to a cash buyer. Get paid, get your checks. And we could talk about all how professionalism and high level and skills and guys, like, we could talk about that, but like, we're just selling contracts. Like, we're just flipping paper, baby. Like, we can get all advanced and crazy, but like, I think that just puts too much fluff in this business. And we go in the weeds, right? We go to Wholesaling.com. We really break it all down, like really, but like, high level view, if I have 14 seconds on TikTok to tell you what it is, like, that's what it is. Now we can get, go to Wholesaling.com, learn like, oh, this, and this. And yeah, you can do that. But just number one thing, finding the ugly house, finding that motivated seller. This is what it takes. And I don't care if I have to hop on here every single dang day and tell you, this is what you have to do. And is the decisions you're going to make going forward in 2025 going to bring you closer to that goal or not closer to that goal? Just ask yourself that question. That's it. Is you sleeping in tomorrow morning till 10 a.m., 11 a.m., okay? Is you staying up all night tonight till 3 a.m. playing Fortnite or whatever you want to play? I know OG maps are back, so whatever. But like, is you staying up tonight and then sleeping in tomorrow morning? Does that bring you closer to your goal of retiring your mama? Or does that not bring you closer? Does hanging out with the buddies bring you closer or not? And I'll say even in crazier, controversial statement, but like, is going out here and watching a 3-hour football game at noon tomorrow, okay, is that going to bring you closer to getting a deal and changing your life or not? Because if the University of Texas winning one college football game, is that going to bring you closer to retiring your mom? Does that really move the needle in your life? Or does that just make you good for a second, then boom, you're back to reality? And as a guy that loves sports, but by the way, I love sports, okay? Don't get me wrong. If anyone wants to know my teams, right? I'm a massive Florida Gators football fan because I went to UF. I'm a massive Miami Dolphins fan. Yeah, both suck. I'm a massive Florida Panthers fan, right? Awesome. And I am also like a big Miami Heat fan. I go to a ton. I go to more Miami Heat games than probably anything else. I love Brickell, Miami, but like, yeah, it's great. And so, for example, here, like the Florida Panthers won the NHL championship. It was the first. It was amazing. I was screaming. It was the best. But right now, me so happy the Florida Panthers won the NHL playoffs and they won the Stanley Cup. That's amazing. But like, what is me following all the time I spent watching that hockey was insane. Did that really make me truly more happy in my life? Could I have, like, I think it's pretty neutral for me, but like for the average person, it's like you watch 30 hours of hockey, you could probably put 30 hours into marketing and most likely find a deal. And would that $20,000 change your life, yes or no? And the funny part is human beings are so weird. If I go up to you and say, hey, if I gave you $20,000, you can't watch any hockey for the rest of the year, would you say yes or no? Or if you're a football fan, you can't watch the Dallas Cowboys, I give you 30 grand right now for the rest of the year. You would probably say, well, the Cowboys are never even going to make the playoffs, so what's the point? Give me the 30 grand. And that's the funny thing. And I'm not trying to bash people. I love sports. I watch a ton of sports. Okay, so don't be screaming at me, all right? But like, I want to put this thing in perspective about decisions. The amount of time you probably watch football, I watch about 3 hours a week of football, the Dolphins. That sums up to almost 60 hours of football watching a year. I can almost guarantee that 60 hours over time is going to make you money in wholesaling versus not. So really, you have to think about like this in a really crazy perspective. It's just like, am I really using my time wisely? And the cool part about this is there is compound interest. And I want everyone to understand this, right? There's compound interest to the amount of time that we put in wholesaling real estate. So if I just do an extra 2 hours a week, that's 100 hours a year extra that I can put into wholesaling. Put 3 hours a week, right? And it just compounds. And then over 5 years, that's 500 hours. That's almost 100K of deals you could probably get from there. And the compounding works and works and works. And then you don't have to work a dang job the rest of your life. So make the right decisions. Truly go out here and make the decisions that will move the needle in your life. I know it's not the sexiest thing to talk about, but what's sexy is getting rich. What's sexy is making 20 grand next month. And this is something I usually say this, but it's not what you want to hear, it's what you need to hear. I think everybody needs to hear this. So make the right decisions, gentlemen and ladies.